Uh, they talk about how Denzel Washington was at one of his parties, and that at a certain time, he left, or he'll see something, or he knows to leave at a certain time, and things like that. Um, Let me just say this, man. I'm sorry, I may be going a little too fast. Y'all might not be picking up what I'm putting down. So let me just give you raw information and then the example, right? If I know you to be uh, a thief, right, and I know that you only steal at midnight or after midnight, right? I'm not gonna hang around you, letting you know what I have, just because it's not midnight. Because I know up until midnight you plotting on what it is that I got. You seeing how you're gonna steal from me, what it is that you're gonna steal from me. After midnight or not, I'm not hanging around you. And if I am around you because I have to be at an award show or something, I'm not gonna be too flashy because I know you go try to steal. So all that uh go to his party but leave before it gets whatever. If you know that it gets like that, that should be enough for you not to be around. So, you know, don't let people telling you a certain thing kind of rock you to sleep with that explanation. That's not a good enough explanation. So let's move on. Who's next? I also want to mention that, man. I hate bringing up so-called celebrities on this channel because I don't like the idea of using somebody that's more popular than me in order to make me popular. I believe that the information I'm getting given and what it in the way I think, my mind is superior to anything that they got. And I mean it. But for education purpose, because I see a lot of people lost and ain't got a clue, don't have no game, no information, no nothing, and y'all just led blindly. Man, Mike Tyson. Like. Let's start with the good. Okay. Good thing is he's the youngest heavyweight champion ever. 20 years, 4 months, I believe. He was a little bad little robbing kid out of New York that a man said, "Hey man, I got something that you can put all that aggression into." Taught him how to box, gave him some skills and created a champion out of it. Outstanding, good work. Uh, he's somebody that's maintained some sort of relevancy because of some of his antics that be forever memorable in the history of boxing. Period. I don't think anybody ever bit a chunk out of somebody's ear. Uh, I don't believe anybody said some of the craziest stuff that he said, and so with all that being said, I think he'll go down as in history. But on the other end, to get to the other part, he didn't stick the landing. It ain't over. You still got a chance. But as far as boxing is concerned, he didn't stick the landing. Was the fight rigged? Yeah. I don't even want to even. It's not even up for debate. Call it what you want to. Go on Joe Rogan podcast. That's another guy's podcast, and they show um, when he basically went to swing and kind of pulled his punch. They say in his contract that he couldn't hit Jake Paul a certain way or knock him out. I think that the longer he went in the fight, the more money he was able to win. So by him going the full 8 rounds and lasting that long and not knocking Jake Paul out or hurting him, he was able to get to his maximum amount of money, which is 20 something million. Okay, so I'm happy that he got the bag. He can take care of his family and do what it is that he's gonna do. All right. Now let me get the good out the way. Now for the bad. So much. Where do I start? This is what we do know. This is the facts. Fact is, at one point in time, he had $300 million. $300 million. And was able to accomplish nothing with it. Zero. Okay. So for him to file for bankruptcy and for him not to be, and that equivalent today is probably what, 500 something million. But either way, we do know that he had almost 300 million. He didn't have the right people around him, and he pretty much blew all of that. Okay. Other thing we do know, he's a convicted rapist, and from the looks of it, he did it. You know, not only is he someone accused of being a rapist, he is a convicted rapist and went to prison for 2 years for even in his defense. This is how I know that something's going on in his mind. He didn't have no game. He said that she came over at 2 a.m, allowed him to have oral sex with her, but when he went to have sex with her, she was telling him to stop, and him thinking that she's over here this late and that she let him basically eat her out, he thought he just had access to her, and it don't work like that. Had he had some game, he'd have been able to bargain and manipulate how men do. We'd have kept playing around with it and trying to bargain, like, oh, let me just do this, oh, we'll grab this. We'd have been, making some sort of move or maneuvers and stuff like that, just naturally how men do. But him, it's like, no, you just go ahead and give it here. You know what I'm saying? So he's a convicted rapist, and we do know that, and it's more than likely he did do it. All right. Now in prison, they don't care. If that's on your jacket, they ain't dealing with you. Flat out. So they made an exception for him because of what I just told you. Subconsciously, they'll disregard what it is that a man has done in traditional ways just because he has a certain amount of income and he's within this inauthentic, fake, artificial life. And he went in there and we came out a Muslim. And them brothers, the main ones that don't play if you got a sex offender jacket. Then he get out. He tells a reporter, I might got the time wrong, but I think this is when after he got out. He told the reporter, F you. I'll F you in your behind and make you love me. And then, called him the F word. That's derogatory toward gay men. The bottom line is, he told the reporter he'll F him in his behind and make him love me. Now, what man do you know that's got mad and said something like that? That's a lot of deep anger. That's coming from a dark place. Just let me know what he was off in there doing. But I digress on that. What else do we know? We know that he has a reputation of beating women. Robin Givens talk about how he beat her. Uh, I think the woman before her talk about how she beat him up. Got all this muscle. This man's putting his hands on women repeatedly. What else we know? We know that I think when he was 16 or something like that, when he was training to be, in box 17 or whatever, we know that one of the boxing trainers, I think his last name is Atlas, Teddy Atlas or whatever, we know that he put a gun to his head for messing with his niece. So this man, has a history of acting out sexually. I think he's admitted to being molested when he was young. Not saying that him being molested is a crime. The person who did it should be criminally charged. But we do have he was molested when he was younger. We do have he had a gun put to his head for allegedly trying to be with an underage girl. We do know that he's a convicted rapist. We do know that when he got out, he told a reporter he'll F him in his behind. This is what we do know, okay? Uh, so with that being said, man, watch out who you choose to be your idol. Because if you agree with him being your idol and you worship him, subconsciously and by default, you also are in agreement to what it is that that person is doing and what that person really is about. And that's how you get got and you don't see it. Goes all the way back to the golden calf. And the Israelites never made it out. Because even though you may not have been lifting the calf and having the calf on your shoulders or whatever, you didn't go to war and you didn't check who did do it. So therefore, by default, you are in agreement with it. You was cool with it. So whatever come to them will come to you. And they all wandered for 40 years and didn't make it. So think about it, man. Think about your idols. Think about who you cool with, who you know doing something that's shiesty. Let's just break it down to a street level. You know this man shiesty. You know this man a thief. You know this man's a pedophile. You know this man has done something that's ungodly to you and that you don't respect it. But you got in your head that since he ain't doing it around you, that means something. It means nothing. He carries it with him. If he's somebody that does something like that and he's around you, the part of him that will do something like that is in him and he's around you. And by default, you're subconsciously okay with it because you're in support of it. You ain't checking them about it. You'll rationalize it in your mind and you'll say, well, since he ain't doing it around me, you better not do it around me. It don't matter if he do it around you or not. He around you, that's enough. It's in him. So your blessing go get knocked. He go knock you for your blessing. Being around somebody that got something in them or on them, either way, it's negative. Get rid of it. That's just for me to whoever needed. So what else? What else we got? Denzel. Okay, this big thing about Denzel kissing the man in the movie and them editing it out and things like that. He said it. I don't think a man would lie about kissing another man. But I guess one of the directors, somebody said that no, he didn't kiss the guy. He may have kissed him on the hand, but there was no kiss or whatever. I don't think Denzel would lie about kissing a man. I don't think he would lie about kissing a man in front of his wife. So I'm gonna act like he did. And if in the case he did, I would wonder why at this point in his career he would do that. When he was a young, handsome man, not saying he's not handsome now, whatever, but when he was a young, handsome man, he declined to kiss Julia Roberts. And, yeah, pretty woman. He declined to kiss her. So you go decline kissing Julia Roberts in your prime, and now here you are at the end, you go kiss a man and talk about it's the kiss of death, like, oh, this is just Macbeth. I'm just this great actor. What the hell wrong with you, Denzel? I mean, is this what it's come to, man? The breaking of some of our idolized men, whether he did it or not. They wanted to look like he did. Also, when it comes to bug breaking, let's go back to Mike Tyson again. I don't know why I can't get rid of this dude. When the fight first started, on the Netflix or whatever, you got a glimpse of Mike Tyson walking around with his ass out. That is a fact. What was that about? Why they have him walk around with his ass out? You think that was an accident? Go watch. Like I said, I don't like mentioning people who have a bigger following than me because I don't want to think I'm dick riding and uh, trying to get clout and use them. But go look at the brother Tariq Nasheed's information on buck breaking, and that'll fill you in on what I believe is going on in this whole thing with Mike Tyson. Also with Denzel. So now we gotta look for who's coming next. And I'm not saying that they don't deserve it. I don't know Denzel's life. I don't know. I don't think he's like P. Diddy or none of them. But everybody's starting to get broken down. You're starting to see the greatest fighters, warriors in history of America as far as Black America is concerned. You start to see them in the end with their ass out, walking and getting their ass beat in the middle of the ring. Then you're starting to see a man who was big enough and handsome enough to say, you know what? I don't even want to do kissing scenes with Julia Roberts. To have many years later in old age is okay with kissing a man. Now, if you want to argue and say, well, he's grown as an actor and he's not as closed-minded. He's developing better acting skills, whatever. Man. Bottom line is, this man told Julia Roberts, "I don't want to kiss you in my movie," but he's okay with kissing the man however many years later. What changed? What happened? This all may seem like a rant, and in a way it is. But it's also to make you think and use your mind and have an understanding of what's going on, man. Guard your manhood, man.